commit several phases. I'll enter into the phases, but number one, commitment has number one, the decision component. From today hence, I will be treating God's people. That's a decision to make. From today hence, I'll be treating God's people as important to me as they are important to God. Not because they are able to do certain things for me, but because they are children of God, and God created them in his own image. So the way they are, God knows why. I am only to accept them and love them and live with them and help them even to know the Father in heaven in a greater way. The love, the commitment aspect of love has the decision. This is a short term. I have made the decision today. Out of about 3 billion women, my wife is the most important, and I attach that importance on her, irrespective of the circumstances. I will have to fight the circumstances that shall come. Are we together? So, number one, love is a decision. It has the decision component. And after making the decision to make her the most important, then I have to make sure that I sustain that decision, not only for today and tomorrow, but till death does part. Till death does part. We will look deeper into that commitment, but it is number one. That means, commitment means circumstances might not be favorable, but nevertheless, I will stand by the decision I made. That you are my wife, I have to live with you, I have to walk with you, I have to love you. Number two, we have the intimacy component in love, which encompasses the feeling of closeness, connectedness, bondedness. I want you to know that you can depend on me. You can depend on me. That is intimacy. I am a person who can be depended on by you. So that is the other thing. Then from there, we have the passion component. The passion component, let me just, because maybe I won't be able to go up to that area with my presentation, let me just mention something. If I am committed to you, when I make that decision and commit myself to you, then I become close to you. You become the most valuable person unto me. Is that true? And Jesus said these words. This is on passion. Matthew 6 verse 21. Where your treasure is, there your heart shall be. So when I become committed to this person and I become close and connected to the person, my heart already feels a deep yearning to be close to that person and to spend. I see that person as attractive. I feel romantic with that person. All these things come, but they come only when I have done what? Number one, committed myself. Number two, build a close relationship with this person that she must feel that she can depend on me and count on me, whether times are good or bad. When we are that intimate and she has trusted in me, then our hearts shall always be melting with passion for one another, because she will be that sweetheart that she ought to be. In fact, commitment can be likened with the steel structure that holds a house. The strength of any marital relationship depends totally on the commitment that people have on each other. Are we together? The strength of a story building, depends on what? On the steel structure that holds it. Is it true? Now, the strength of a family depends on the commitment people have on each other. So, in marriage, I started with the family, now I'm narrowing to the marriage relationship. In marriage, then, you ought to make 3 types of commitment. Commitment number 1, you have to be committed to your partner. To your partner. Be committed to your partner's happiness. Be committed to your partner. Well, even if I'm far, I'm still committed to her. Distance does not make me lose my commitment to her. Number 2, be committed to the relationship. Number 3, be committed to the sanctity and permanence of marriage. In fact, we need to focus our skill building efforts on these dimensions. If we do that, the payoff of those who succeed in developing these skills is a level of human experience beyond our fondest dreams. It is a foretaste of the breeze of Eden. The key words here is learn and practice. Marriage doesn't just work. It requires careful, informed, precisely drilled participation set to produce it in relationship. What are the fundamentals? The fundamentals that can show that you are committed to a relationship are number 1, seeking ways to enhance the relationship. What do you do to make sure that your relationship is enhanced? It is not becoming stale. Number 2, being faithful. Number 3, being loyal and responsive. Let me tell you one thing. An intimate relationship can only, underline this word, can only be a source of joy where loyalty and long-term dependability is assured. If not that, let me tell you, you can be married to a person, but if that person questions your loyalty and your long-term dependability, then that person will entirely be anxious due to that marriage. Then you need to be dedicated to maintaining the relationship, focusing on your partner's needs as well as yours, being sensitive to partner's past hurts. Anaweza kuwa aliumia, sio una brush off na unasema hiyo sio kitu na unaendelea. You have to be sensitive. You have to be empathetic. Lazima uingie katika viatu zake na umsaidie kupona kutoka kwa majeraha aliyopata. Zaidi ya hivyo, commitment is visualizing yourself in a long term, planning the future together. You visualize yourself the next 40 years together. Hello? When you sit, you see yourself 100 years old, happy and loving. I remember about 80 years ago, an elderly couple came to my wife's restaurant. She has a little restaurant somewhere. So I was there. And they came. The woman was 92. The husband was 96. They couldn't even drive. They were brought by a driver. They were driven to that place. Then they came, requested for a table in a corner, at a certain corner. And they said, we only want juice. 2 glasses of juice and 1 mango. 2 glasses of juice and 1 mango. Then the mango was chopped, cut into pieces. And they told my wife, bring us 1 fork. Uma moja. And they could pierce, feed the other person. At what age? Let me tell you, love has no expiry date. Love has no expiry date. I watched the whole thing, and I even took a video because I felt this is not the usual way. Then after doing that is not yet. They push the mango aside, they stand. The table is 2 by 2. Wow. They stand, they kiss one another, and they say these words, oh, this world, life is still sweet. Who and who? And I in fact saw it fit to at least interrogate them. How did they maintain this? And I came to realize all of us can make a commitment to make our marriages work and be happy for the rest of our lives. In fact, we have not shown a good example to the GNZs. We have not shown a good example to our children. Juzi watoto wa GNZ walipokuwa wakidemonstrate, walikuwa wakisema tunaogopa ujimoto na ndoa peke yake. Why have they come to that, to fearing marriage? Because the model we have shown them has not so much encouraged them into marriage. We need to change. We need to show that love can endure, love can rise.